Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Every day seems a little longer. Every way love's a little stronger. Come what may, do you ever long for true love from me? There you go, baby. Here am I. Will you left me here so I could sit and cry? Well, golly gee, what have you done to me? Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Love you like I do.
Hello again and welcome to Cars and Us. It's my pleasure and honor to be amongst all the who's who of drag racing. Cars and Us is out at York, Pennsylvania this weekend for the Muscle Car Madness Show, the 9th annual Muscle Car Madness Show that's put on by Darwin Dahl and his associates. It's really a really fun weekend. As a matter of fact, Friday and Saturday is the show, and then Sunday we're going to go to Beaver Springs and we're going to watch and capture all the cars racing at Beaver Springs. Weather is predicted to be accommodating, so we're going to have a great time. We're standing in the lobby right now of the York, what I consider the York Expo Center, and it's 2 rooms filled with all the old original cars. This year is going to be real special because for you Ford guys anyway, because this is the celebration of the Ford anniversary. So there's a ton of Fords and Falcons and the Comets and a little bit of everything. In fact, when I sign off now, we're going to go and we're going to start an interview, our first interview with Phil Bonner, and they have 7 cars here, 7 of his original cars. So that's going to be a treat. So the best I can say is stick with us for the next, from now, I don't know how many shows we'll get out of this, hopefully 5 or 6 at least anyway. And you'll have quite a viewing for the next several weeks in a row. And we're going to have a lot of fun doing it for you out here. And talking with the older guys that are out here, the legends, of course, of drag racing. So stick with us. Right now I'm relaxing. And I'm surrounded by Fords. As I said earlier on, this is the anniversary for Fords. So who better to have than Mr. Ford, Phil Bonner, who is a legend in our time. And again, with all these Fords, they must have, I don't know, about 4, 5, 6 cars at least anyway. There's a whole bunch of cars that I'm surrounded by. You'll see them after. But I want to introduce Phil. I want to welcome Phil to Cars and Us.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. The question is, how are you doing? You're looking great.
Well, I feel pretty good.
I mean, you must have found a fountain of youth.
I wished I would. Maybe you could tell me where it is.
You look terrific, really.
Thank you.
You know, I'm not saying that. I mean, it's you know, I can remember you, you know, back years ago, and you really haven't changed that much, you know.
Well, I've gotten a few wrinkles here and there, but
Well,
I still feel good.
We all did. That's
yeah.
the main thing. That's the main thing.
We're having fun here now, so it's
I
One of
know.
the-
Now, you haven't been around in a while. I guess you've been busy. What have you been doing anyway?
Well, I went into business when I quit racing, and I built homes, and I had a automobile business and aircraft business. So that was basically what I did for the last 25 years.
Aircraft business. Be a little bit more explicit.
Well, we sold airplanes. I bought and sold different ones. We had a fixed base operation, and I had it also with a friend of mine named Dick Brannon.
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah, we had corporate jet aviation at PDK Airport in Atlanta. Oh, it's in Chamblee, Georgia, but that's a suburb of Atlanta.
But you're not retired. You're still working.
Well, I'm semi-retired. I don't want to
Okay.
work. I'm not ready for that ever-loving rocking chair yet.
Oh no. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I meant just going out and kind of enjoying the cars and going to the different cruises and the shows and things of that nature.
Well, we go to probably 4 or 5, and maybe even 6 a year. In the meantime, I live in Costa Rica half the time.
I didn't know that. I was going to say to you because Dick Estevez told me one year you were actually vacationing down there. He didn't mention that you lived down here.
Well, I actually live there about 6 to 7 months a year, and I've been doing that for about the last 13 years. I like it. It's very nice.
That's terrific. What do you do there? I mean, do you fish or
Not much.
you have your big toe in the water and sipping a mint
Yeah,
julep?
it's you always find something to do if you're a business type person. You might want to find a little piece of property and buy it, or develop a
Right.
small shopping center, or a few homes and stuff that I have built. And I have 2 there that I keep for myself. I lease the ones I don't use, and so on a short-term basis, I
Now-
don't.
Now,
try to
Phil,
do
they say that Costa Rica is the hot spot. That's the place to invest, and it's the place to vacation.
It's a great place to do that. It's like the United States is now. It's not the very best at this moment because it's sort of follows the United States. If we do good here,
The economy,
they're doing
yeah.
economy there's
Certainly.
good. So, and it's not so good right now. It's not. It's probably 8 or 10% better than it is here, but that's not saying much.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's changed in the past few years. So, but I think maybe another 2-3 years or so, we'll get back into what America was.
Let's hope so.
Hopefully.
Oh, I hope so. My goodness, I hope I can live that long.
You will. That's for sure. Don't worry about that. We're gonna see back here next year again with another half a dozen cars.
Well, I hope so.
Speaking of the cars, how many have you got here?
Well, let's see. We got one more to come. Now they're not all mine now, but they're some of the
Right.
cars that I had rolled out. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We should have when we get through 7 of them here.
All right, let's talk about some of them. Pick one that brings back a lot of memories.
Well,
I mean, I'm sure they all do, but
well,
special.
you start right here with this blue car. And that's one of the first cars they had, and we called it Georgia Peach to start with. And some of the magazines called it the Frog or something like that.
The Leapfrog, yeah.
The Leapfrog. But we also, that's the first Warbucks car, and that was Warbucks, not Daddy Warbucks, that
Right.
particular car. And it won several AHRA Nationals and did a lot of good, and it was on Superstock magazine back cover for a couple of years. That's the car you saw when you looked in the magazine to see
Right.
what's in it.
Right.
And then behind that is my original Thunderbolt, and I own that one. And it's I've had it from year 1. I did sell it once and bought it back, but it was completely redone in 1988. And Jody and George Aberts up here just refreshed it all over and made it look real good.
It looks terrific, like just like it did back in '64.
It did. And then Dickie Estevez is the owner of this car, which I really originally had, and I built it back in 1988 also. This is a duplicate, sort of the original.
Yeah, it's a clone.
It's a
Right.
clone, but it's more than that. It's a modern type chassis.
Right,
on
it's
it.
got today's technology.
That's correct. And where the original one didn't, we could never find the original orange one. So best we could do on it.
That's
Sure.
it.
Yeah, that's it. And this is Don Frizzell's car, which is one of the new
the new race Mustangs.
new race Mustangs.
performance,
And he got it painted up real good with that snake on the side of it, and he's using that Daddy Warbucks emblem on, which is
Yeah.
fine with me.
Yeah.
And all of that's just been great. And there's also a 62 Galaxy coming in here. That's one of the ones we had, but it's not here yet.
Okay, that's on its way.
Yeah, and let's see what else we got there. And of course, George Abert's car back here that comes with our bunch is that real beautiful Starliner. You see that
Right.
61 Starliner.
Yeah.
And it's a
It was a nice
gorgeous
car.
car. Oh, gosh, it's
You know,
gorgeous.
I'm not a. I really wasn't.
A Ford
that
guy.
much of a Ford guy. Well, Phil, I come from Tarrytown, New York,
I hear you.
and that was a General Motors plant. So I worked there, and that's what we raced. You know,
Yeah.
and that's.
Well, I used to run up in your territory. I liked it a lot.
Yes, you know, we talked about that. Got to refresh the viewers'
yeah.
memories that you ran up at Dover. And as a matter of fact, I told you I got film of you running
yeah?
up there.
We
Oh
sure
yeah,
did.
yeah, yep. That was our home track.
Yeah, I
good
think
track.
I ran there 3 different times. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have you with different cars. You know,
Yeah.
and I believe the one specific time was when you ran the late Malcolm Durham.
Oh yeah. He was a good friend.
Yeah.
Mighty nice guy. I really liked
Yeah.
him and his wife Darla.
Yeah. Yep. You know, it's a shame. You know, but he had found his original Chevelle,
Yeah.
and they were restoring it, and then you know, I don't know what happened after that.
Well, I think it was the same thing that, very closely the same thing that Mr. Sox had a problem
yeah.
with. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and another
Yeah.
very good friend I've lost. Of course,
Yeah.
all of them. Don Nicholson and I were very close. He lived in Atlanta, so.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about Don. What's your memories with Don?
Oh, it goes,
As far as
back.
racing
Racing goes, he was a very hard competitor. We didn't like each other when we were racing. We liked each other after the race,
Right.
eating something.
Right.
During the race,
Going
no,
out
we
to
didn't
dinner.
like that. We went at it. But it's fun. Enjoyed every bit of it.
You made a living at racing. I mean, you
Yeah,
did
we
very well.
Did very
And
well.
what got you started?
Well, we
let's go back
started,
to your early days.
Well, we go back to the early days, and well, if you go back too far, well, it goes all the way back to 1953.
That's good.
And that was dirt drag racing.
Okay.
But the real professional racing came on in 1961 when Ford picked us up, and we started. Actually, the professional drag racer started at Yellow River Drag Strip in Covington, Georgia. That's where they paid money instead of the trophy.
Right.
And that brought people like Don Nicholson from the West Coast and Hayden
Mm-hmm.
Prophet and a few more of them. And we all started running there, and that was basically our home track before they had that terrible accident there.
Right.
And we had a great time there, and that's where they'll run what you brung, put the rosin down.
Right. Right.
The
old BX10.
Arnie the Farmer Beswick and I,
Yep.
we always
Yep.
we got into that rosin stuff. I think that's where it really got going.
How did you get picked up by Ford? I mean, what was it that you did so well? that Ford picked you up?
Ran in '61. I don't remember the exact number of races, but we won a lot of races, and they picked up because we run so many races, and I was selling so many Fords on the Sunday. So that's run on Sunday and sell on Monday.
Sell on Monday.
So
That's
and
right.
Ford picked us up, took us up to the factory, and I was with the original factory team, and I stayed with it until they dispersed it.
Phil, are you close with Bob Tasker Sr.?
Yeah, we were real. I used to know him very, very well. I hadn't seen the Bappa, and that's what we call him.
Right, right.
I hadn't seen him in probably 15, 20 years, but yeah, yes, I'd pick right up with him right now if I came up.
He's supposed to be here.
I hope
This
so, 'cause
weekend,
I really,
but,
I
you
really
know, I
want
don't
to see
know.
him again.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen him in
yeah,
a while,
I'm
and I
sure.
really would like to see him.
His car is here. You know,
know, I saw
but
the car.
you know, whether he comes depends on you know, on how he feels.
Well, I think his grandson or whoever it is has done pretty good in,
Yeah, isn't he?
In that dragster.
Isn't he?
Yeah, it's
You
wonderful.
know, yeah, they're doing terrific. But you know, Fords and you know, and Chrysler, they're doing well. General Motors is unfortunately gone by the wayside. You know.
Well, I hope they come back. You know, we need all these American companies. We don't need to lose any more of them. We certainly don't
That's
need
for
to
sure.
lose General Motors, and we certainly
I
don't
know.
need to lose Ford. And it looks like
know.
Ford's doing all right at the moment.
They
Let's
are.
hope they keep going.
They are. They're the only ones that didn't ask for a bailout.
That's right.
Yeah.
I hope they keep going, and I hope Chrysler makes it too. Of course, they got the Italians in there and the Fiats, and then maybe
Yeah,
they'll have the
yeah.
expertise to
Yeah.
get it going.
We hope so. But you know, Fiat didn't do so well either. You know.
I understand that. I hope the combination works.
Well, hopefully
Yes.
that'll work out. You
bet.
know, and it'll be you know, something good on the horizon.
Sure.
But anyway, I guess you're going to be out here for the weekend. Oh, I know what I want to ask you. You going to Beaver Springs Sunday?
I don't know. We're debating about that now because I have to leave for Costa Rica on Tuesday morning out of Atlanta. We're trying to get together how much time we're going to have between it,
see.
so it's possible.
I
But
see.
I can't
Okay.
answer you that right this moment.
I see.
But we might.
Okay. Would you ever get in a car?
Oh, sure. I wouldn't mind
Yeah?
that. Sure. I just haven't done it because if you don't really want to stay on top of something, I don't like getting in anything that I don't think I can win with. So, you know, you got to get going
okay.
good. But
Okay.
but
you're
now,
a fierce competitor.
yeah, that's the way it is. But I don't want to go make a fool out of myself either because there's a mighty good lot of young
Right.
drivers now.
Right.
And I think some of us old guys could still punch the button
I'm
if we
sure
had
of
to.
that. You know, I'm sure of that. I think what they need to do instead of the bracket racing, they need an age bracket.
Yeah, well, I don't mind that one now. I ought to have a lot of fun anyway. I don't
Yeah.
think I'd have any problem driving.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know whether I could take that funny car stuff anymore because I'm a little bit old for that. But you know, if
that's
it's
a
nice,
little bit too fast.
A little bit. Not so much the fast as the G-forces.
Yeah.
It's the parachutes, and you get old, you get a little creaky. You know.
That's right. Yeah. I don't know. You're
Well,
telling me.
Wake up. You'll find out. Yeah.
Phil, been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure.
All
to you.
right, and
You
we'll
bet.
look forward to seeing you up at Beaver
great.
Springs. You know, for sure.
I'll try my best to be there, and I think probably will.
Enjoy the weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
One of Pennsylvania's favorite sons and a legend in drag racing is Mr. Bruce LARSON, USA 1. And we got him early on before the show starts and everything so that when the crowd comes around, he signs a lot of autographs and he has to have his picture taken and all that. So we got him early on now. So Bruce, nice seeing you again once a year. And then, well, last year I got sick. I couldn't make it to your house. So this November I'm looking forward to coming back
this
out.
November.
Yeah,
we have a good time there every year.
I know. I was telling my buddy Charlie some years back, 2 years in a row at your house in November, it was 72 or 74 degrees. It was like it is out today.
We've
like
never
summertime.
had a rain out there.
I know that,
Yep.
but it was just so warm. It was really great,
Yeah.
you know. And we had Bud Fogel's car lined up and Charlie Allen's car lined up in the front.
Sure.
And the weather was just gorgeous, you know. You're very lucky with the weather, you know. And
Yep.
you brought good weather with you today outside. And I mean, this is indoors, of course, but outside it's beautiful too for the cruising guys that are going to come in, you know.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a good show this year.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm so pleased, and I'll tell you why. I didn't tell Darwin, not yet anyway, but this is where they first had it the first year.
Right.
And this location, it's 2 separate rooms, and I kind of liked it much better, you know.
Yeah, there's
you wander
a
from
nicer
one-
atmosphere here.
I felt
Yeah.
that way too,
Yeah.
Bruce.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because I felt
Yeah.
the same way,
Yeah.
you know. And this obviously will be a great show. But this show now is a lot of Fords out here. I mean, this is what the anniversary, Ford's anniversary, right?
Yeah, it's Ford's big anniversary, and I brought a Chevrolet.
Well, that's you know you. Should I say you brought the best?
Well, we'll have a little race when it's all over and see who wins.
Oh, speaking of racing, you're going to go to going to go to Beaver Springs?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
We'll be there Sunday.
Oh, okay. Who do you plan to take on up there?
I'm just going to display this car up there.
Oh, you're not going to. Oh, you're not
Right.
going to fire it up and run it.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I know we're digressing a little bit, but I did want to mention because we didn't talk last year. You auctioned off the little Cobra.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Uh-huh.
Why?
Oh, it just seemed like the right thing to do it the way the market was at that time.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it brought a good dollar. I was trying to follow it, but I never saw it, and you know, and I don't need to ask you. But that was a great car, and it was.
Oh, yeah.
There was only a couple of them.
Yeah, there were 6 of the Dragon Snakes.
Right.
At least that's as close as we
Yeah.
can figure. And it's
But how many originals were left beside yours?
We're not sure.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So you have you got your funny car, and you have the '62 Ford, and what else you got coming in?
Well, the 62 Ford belongs to a friend of mine, Stanley Schoppel. That's parked right in
You
front
know,
of us.
I thought that was your car
No, I
because it's always out at
drove
your
it.
house. Oh, I know you drove it, but that's
He-
why I thought it was yours.
He keeps it there sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, the rest of the time he keeps it in the Eastern Museum of Motor Racing over in York Springs.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always saw it at your house, and I just assumed,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that it was part of your collection because you have quite a few cars.
Yeah, just enough to keep me busy.
You know, when we first met, going way back up so the viewers get an idea, up at Connecticut Dragway when we spoke, you were very gracious and you said, you know what, if you're ever out in Pennsylvania, you know, stop by. I got a couple of things. I said, do you have memorabilia? And I heard that you had a museum. Nah, I just have a couple of things. Well, when I came out there the first year, I said, boy, what a modest person you are because you have, I think you got the first check the first time you were ever ran and got a check because you had everything. And now I see you got Jungle Pam's shorts up on the wall.
Yeah, that's a good display. Everybody remembers
They
those
sure
shorts.
will. They
Yep.
sure will. Yeah, I got some photos that guy sent me. You know, that went out. You know, and I wondered. I sent her email and I didn't hear back from her. I wonder if she's coming. Have you heard anything?
She said she had to go to a wedding today. She'd rather
that
be
right?
here or this weekend. I guess it's a long deal,
Okay.
so she won't be here.
Okay, that's too bad. I suspect Linda Vaughn will be here.
She's supposed to be in
Yeah.
town.
Yeah, I figured. You know, she's like a fixture
Well,
out here.
she's
you know.
a necessary part of this
Right.
group.
That's true.
Yep.
Now, what do you think about this project 1320 that's starting to blossom? Tracy Harudka?
I haven't really got involved yet. I had an
haven't, huh?
invitation, and I haven't really pursued it yet, so
Okay.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay. I have a list of the people that they're going to start interviewing, and they're going to start making the series. And I don't recall whether your name is on that list or not. I'll be very disappointed. I'll tell you why. Because Bud Fogel's name is missing.
Is it?
Oh, yes. And I called her, and I spoke to her at length. And I said, you have two names that are not on this list. I said, both, personal friends of mine, one being Bud Fogel, a major legend
Sure.
in this racing, in drag racing. I said, and the other fella is out my way, out in Long Island, Jack Merkel. Ran gassers,
sure.
and his name is missing. And I said, I understand you're a little bit young, so you might not recognize the name Jack Merkel. I said, but he was a pioneer.
Oh, it'll all come together with people like you reminding her of people
Well,
that she forgot. She can't
I
think
hope
of everybody.
so, Bruce. I like to think, that I played some kind of little part in it, but these, I understand you can't get everybody, but when you start bringing out names or missing names like a Bruce LARSON, if your name is not on there, or Bud Fogel, Jack Merkel from out our way, you can't do that.
Yeah, right.
You guys are all, part of the history. And when she talks
Yep.
about legends and pioneers, that's you.
Well,
So-
she's got a good concept there. I hope
Very
she
good.
works. I
Very
hope she
good.
works it out.
Yeah, well, she's looking for sponsors, and it's going to be a vast undertaking.
Yep.
But the money seems to be there, Bruce, and it's all about being able to afford
Yep,
it.
it takes money.
Yeah, it certainly does. But we'll see what happens. So anyway, I guess we're in store for a good weekend. And you got any special plans for the weekend?
Just hang around, talk to all my friends.
Talk to all your friends.
Friends
huh?
being the fans.
Who's coming that we haven't seen in a while that you can think of off the top of your head?
I'm not sure what the list is.
Yeah.
Got
Well,
enough trouble remembering to be here myself.
Well, you never forget that. Come on, there you go being modest again, Listen, it's always a pleasure to see you. All right, and enjoy the weekend.
Thanks.
And we'll see you, from time to time.
We'll
during the
talk
course of the
again.
week. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you, Bruce.
All right, bye.
Another legend in drag racing, of course, and who was also inducted in the Hall of Fame last night. We got him early on in the morning here before the crowd starts to commence, and he's got to start signing autographs and taking pictures and stuff. AKRON Arnold VANKE. Nice to see you out here.
I'm glad to be
All right,
here.
it was a great ceremony last night.
Yes.
I'm sure you were really overwhelmed.
It just takes your breath away. We didn't have no idea when we were racing that we were doing anything. We were making a living and having a good time, and the history part, I guess, just fell into place.
You never thought you were going to be so well known, did you?
No, I didn't.
It's great. You were, unbeknownst to you, I know you were busy drag racing and stuff, and it took up a lot of your time, and you were having fun too, but you were building up a name for yourself. Everybody knew ARLEN VANKE. But originally, I want to talk about your start. You actually started with the Pontiacs.
Well, actually, I started in 1953 with a Ford.
Did you?
A flathead Ford behind a Barberton shopping center. And I was turned 16 on Friday, got my driver's license, and raced Sunday.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I had a car that I bought, and it wasn't very fast. And I went we had our own club and had a drag strip laid out behind the Barberton shopping center, and I went down there and raced. Well, after a second or third weekend, my mother come and watched, and Monday night at the kitchen table, we were eating the evening meal, and she told my father, she said, "Louis, our son needs some help," and she gave me a check for $600.
Boy, that's unusual for a mother.
Yeah.
Usually they're afraid. There's concerned that something might happen.
Well, she was afraid, because at Indy in '68, she never seen me win. She was there, but she had her eyes closed.
Did she?
Yeah.
Well, at least she was there. She supported
Yeah.
you all your life,
yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. My father never drove a car or talked on the telephone, and it was kind of a unique growing up experience.
I'm sure. Now, how did you get involved in Pontiacs or with Pontiacs?
With Pontiac, well, I was kind of at the crossroads of my life. being a young man and buying a house and everything. And I run a auto repair business, and I raced as a hobby. And I went down to the Pontiac dealer to buy a part for a car I was working on. And while I was talking to the parts guy, Bill Knaefel, who owned Anderson Pontiac, just took it over, happened to overhear me, and he came out and showed me the new Super Duty motor he had on a stand out there. Talked about the car. Well, to make a long story short, before I left that day, I ordered a 62 lightweight Catalina.
Did you?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And that started your racing with Pontiac?
Yes, yes. Because at the time I was running a Chevy and I think B gas or C gas, and I could see that things were changing. The gas coupe and sedan class was popular, but man, when they called for the top stock deal to come to the starting line, people just dropped everything and run to the fence. And I could see that, and I get a kick out of driving those cars because they were cars that we could buy, cars that we could relate to. And it was quite a thrill to get one of those.
And then you went to Mopar.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What year was that?
I actually bought 264 Plymouths in '64. Me and the Pontiac dealer from time to time had our differences, and Pontiac really in '63 pulled out of racing.
Right.
So it was kind of tough. So I bought 264 Plymouths and raced them. However, I did well with them, but I could get no factory backing or even conversation. They were, there was non-existent.
They wouldn't talk to you?
No.
Well, you really wound up doing very well.
Yeah, well, in '66, we took the Pontiac dealer called me. I went down and looked, and he wanted me to run one of those new Ram Air GTOs, and I did. And luckily, it ended up in Bristol, Tennessee, at the Spring Nationals for the final round of Top Stock. I owned the car that was the runner-up and my car.
And your car?
Yeah. And the guys from Chrysler come over and said, "We know you got a 66 Street Hemi. Why aren't you racing it?" And I said, "I can't get no help at all." And they said, "Well, what if when you got home you had a contract?" And I said, "Well, that's different." So that's what made the swing. Yep.
That's terrific. That's great. What's your day like nowadays?
I spend a lot of time doing things like this, and I keep busy with car stuff. That's my life. I don't know anything else, and I can't say I regret it. It's been a good life.
You moved, right? You're living in New Mexico?
Yes. My mother turned, she's almost 95, and I figured it was time I spent some time with her and made sure she was okay. So I moved there.
Right. That's good. That's great. Great state. Mm-hmm. That's the home of the late Dickie Harrell.
Yes. In fact, everything around me is Dickie Harrell. There used to, until some relatives stopped it, there was 2 or 3 Dickie Harrell speed centers and everything. And it's kind of local folklore. There's Dickie Harrell. He was in Silver City. He was in Las Cruces. And
Carlsbad.
Yeah, he was everywhere there. So he's bigger than life out there.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It was a real pleasure to see you up there getting inducted, and I hope to see you at some upcoming events along the way, and I wish you the best. You're a terrific guy. You're a legend to drag racing.
Thank you.
And you're a testimony to drag racing.
I really appreciated everything these people have done.
Well, we appreciate you. That's why.
Right. Okay. And one thing I got to say in closing, these people that own these cars now and go through all this work and everything and bring them here, they should get some recognition also.
Well, hopefully they do. I know they'll get some awards at the end of the day,
yeah.
At the end of the weekend, but they do travel around and take these cars all over. And then Sunday, hopefully, we're going to see a lot of these cars run at Beaver Springs.
Yes, I'm going to go myself.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Then we're going to see you.
I want to see.
Thank you so much,
Arlen. Thank you.